Here we are. Hello, hello. My name is Jody Scholes, and I am your instructor for the day for the MBLEX review course. Sorry, my view is all screwed up. There we go. So my name is Jody, and I'm here to do a great review with you for the MBLEX, the Massage and Bodywork Licensing Exam. And today is the 8th class in our series of 8 classes. So this is our final class for today, but we're all going to be curious, and I'm going to have to email everybody because Alicia takes her test tomorrow. Yeah. So we will be reporting back to you, and I'll make sure I put it in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, and we can all be like, yes, nice job. And we'll all be sending you lots of love tomorrow about 4:30, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah. Are you on Eastern time, Alicia? Yeah. Okay, cool. And so you're not on Eastern. Central? Mountain?
Central.
Central. Okay. So about 6 o'clock Eastern, we'll all be sending you lots of love and excitement to see the results, to hear. And no pressure, honey. No pressure. I want you also to remember that, well, yeah, and to remember that, I mean, the post that I just put up in Patreon, and I sent it actually to a bunch of you as well, is the concept of failing forward. And many, many, many people who are listening to my voice right now have already taken the test and have failed it. Some of you more than once. I haven't met anyone who has failed it more times than the one student who's joining class, who will remain nameless because she's listening to this later. But this will be her 10th attempt. We're failing forward. Yeah, sometimes you want to curl up in a ball or crawl under the covers. That's normal. That's cool. But you know what? You are stretching. You're going someplace you've never been before. If you're not failing at something, you're playing it safe. You're staying in this nice little neat area. All good here. No chance of disappointment. You know, that's not how we roll. That if you're listening to this, if you're participating in class today, whether it's live or later, that's not how you roll either. Because just by being in class today, just by listening to this, you take a step forward. You are progressing. And I want to remind you that failing the test is not a failure in your ability to do a great massage. And for the most part, it's not a lack of knowledge. Seriously, if you went to massage school and you have brushed up on what you studied in massage school regularly, you know everything you need to know to pass the test. The challenge is controlling the emotions, controlling the mindset. And just the way we control our mindset, the way we control our emotions is absolutely to come back to the breath. To just come back to your breath. So in that, yay, I'm glad to see all the well wishes. In that moment where we're feeling a bit of overwhelm, and look, it happens even outside of test taking, but especially during test taking. That feeling of overwhelm, that feeling of, oh no. Come back to the breath. Come back to that breath and just know that that is what grounds you. That is what brings you back to the present moment. And it's in the present moment that we pass the test. When we worry, when we are aggravated, we're either living in the future or we're living in the past. Guilt and shame, usually the past. Worry and fear, future. Thank you, Eckhart Tolle, for The Power of Now. That's from his book, The Power of Now. But we bring that back to the MBLEX, the power of now. I'll bet you there are some of you who are listening right now who wish you had your test tomorrow. And some of you are saying, oh, hell no. But just know that it's failing forward. You can never fail. You might not get a passing score, but you did not fail. Failure is a mindset. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be listening if this wasn't a part of your journey. Whether you failed or not, whether you just graduated from school, maybe you haven't taken the test yet, but you're a little nervous about that. It's part of the journey. It's part of the growth. It's part of the stretch. It's part of your experience of who you are becoming. You have the skills to be a great massage therapist. You have the knowledge. This experience of passing the MBLEX, it's a part of your journey. It's a part of your journey to confidence. So thank you for letting me take at least a few steps with you. And today, let me give you an overview of what we'll be covering, because it's a little bit different today. We're going to be focused on dissecting questions today, because today is our last class in the series. You're going to get a break. And we're going to talk about what you can do during the break to make that break productive. We will resume classes July 14th. That's a Thursday. So we're switching up the day because a number of people just consistently cannot make it on a Tuesday. So I like to mix it up so that we get availability on other days. But it'll still be from noon Eastern Daylight Time. So that makes it a little earlier in Central Time. So 11 Central Time, 10 Mountain, and 9 Pacific. So thanks for bearing with me with my time change math. But we'll still go from noon to 1 Eastern, although that'll be on Thursdays, and we'll resume our classes on July 14th. Between now and then, I challenge you. I challenge you to get in there and study in the Online Learning Center. And I want to share with you the rock stars from the last 30 days. Boom shakalaka. These are the people who have been doing diligent studies, consistently going in and practicing in the Online Learning Center. So congratulations, Emily, Jessica, Jason, Crystal, Lashenta, Yari, Jing Wu. I don't see you on class today, but I know you're listening. Charla, you're in there. Alia, Jacob, and Nina. Awesome work, you guys. And these are the reports I pull every Monday to see who's doing what. Yeah, actually, I can see you. I can see your activity. I can look at the tests you've taken. I can see how long you've spent on those tests. So if it's a 25 question test, how many minutes do you think it should take? It could take to do a 25-minute test. You can stick your answer in the chat if you want. Here is the chat. But if it's 25 questions, how long would that take? Realistically, what do you think? Like 25 minutes, right? Yeah. Well, you have you know how often, go back and take a look at your own time. In fact, set your timer on your phone. Set your timer on your phone for when you're taking those tests, when you're taking the quiz, the 25 question quiz. The average time it takes to get through that quiz with it not passing is 8 minutes. Yes, Jessica, 40. It could take 40 minutes, yes. If you are taking your time, if you're really dissecting the question, if you're eliminating 2 wrong answers, if you're choosing the best answer, if the answers don't make sense, probably we didn't thoroughly understand the question. So literally, the first time people go through a 25 question quiz, Normally it's navigating the body and they're like, I got this, I got this. 8 to 10 minutes. It's way too fast. Slow that roll down. Just really take in the question. Understand what it's asking. Go through the motions of eliminating 2 wrong answers and picking the best answer, because we're building your test-taking stamina. Your test-taking stamina. We're building your strength to go from 10 minutes of focused attention to 25 minutes of focused attention to 40 minutes of focused attention to an hour of focused attention to 2 hours of focused attention, because you have 2 hours to take your NBLEX. Yeah. So watch your timing and watch your timing and stay active in the online learning center over the next 4 weeks. I want to also mention that during the next 4 weeks, I'm going to have, oops, I don't think I shared my screen. Sorry. Let's do that. That during the next 4 weeks, there's going to be tutoring available. If you would like to go ahead, oops, it says July, but it's actually June. Let me fix that. So starting tomorrow, yeah, that tutoring will be available. Yeah, so if you're interested in some tutoring, reach out to me, direct message me, text message me. We're going to do it at $100 an hour, but you can have up to 2 people in your session. And if you're in a situation where you're financially not in a position to do $100 an hour, hit me up if you want some tutoring. Let's work it out. If you feel like you need something over the next 4 weeks to keep you grounded, then let's set up a time that you and I can meet together. Let's find a reasonable price. Let's find a reasonable investment for you. And we'll come back to this a little later. So again, hit me up anytime between now and when we resume our classes. I'll be available for some tutoring. Normally I don't do that, be available for tutoring, but you know what? It's the summer. I would really like to see you guys cross this finish line before the end of the summer, wouldn't you? Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into some of our questions. All right. Let's make sure we're at the top here. Yep. Oh, I guess before we do, yeah, let's do the questions and then we'll go back to, at the end, we'll go back to where else you can find resources. But if you've got a pen and paper, all right, I'll say consistent. Let's go with our questions. Sorry, there's one other thing I wanted to share with you, but I'll share it at the end. It's the Patreon site and how to access that. So, but let's go ahead and dissect some questions. So here's our first question. And these are right from the practice exam. So that's why they look a little funky, but I wanted to give you actual questions from my practice exam. So a client arrives and she's 7 months pregnant. You have no official training in pregnancy massage, but you've worked on a few pregnant women while you're at the clinic at school. You're familiar and comfortable with side lying position. How should you proceed? Let's get rid of 2 wrong answers, right? All right, so client arrives, she's 7 months pregnant. You didn't expect it. You don't have official training. You've worked on a few pregnant people. You feel comfortable in side lying and the draping. How should you proceed? A, refuse to do the massage. B, explain the situation to the client. Let them decide. C, hide, fake being sick, or have a sudden emergency. D, reschedule the client to a different day and time with a colleague trained in pregnancy massage. The answer, okay, so you can eliminate letter A and C, correct. You can eliminate letters A and C. You're not gonna refuse to do the massage. And you're not gonna have fake being sick. Good. And we're gonna move right through this because I wanna get through these. So I see one answer coming through. I love it, come on, come on, come on. Let's see, oops, where am I? I'll do that, and there we go. Let's see in the chat, who else has any other comments in the chat for what you would do? What would you do? Ready? Da-da-da-da. Yes, letter B is the correct answer. Explain the situation to the client. Let them decide. Now, why wouldn't it be D? Why wouldn't we just say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this massage today. You reschedule the client. This is, it would be the right answer, right? For some people. And I think was it Jason? Let me just see, don't want to Yeah. So Jason, yes, D could have been the right answer. And that could be the right answer for you. Officially, we are not required to be certified in pregnancy massage. So we give the power back to the client, right? In this case, not often, but in this case, we give the power back to the client and say, we have to be honest. If you're not going to be honest, that's not the right answer. The right answer is not just do the massage. The right answer, the best answer, is explain the situation to the client. Yes, I would have thought D too. Yep. And for you, it might be that's the best answer. But letter of the law, we are not required to reschedule the client. We can explain it to them and we can let them decide. That's officially. We're not required to be certified. We can give that power in this case, and we have to have informed consent. That's the other thing that you would, with letter B to be absolutely correct, it should say informed consent, meaning that they've signed off on something, giving them informed consent. Otherwise, D could be the best answer. Now, I picked this question in particular because there's two right answers. So according to letter of the law, we're not required by law to be certified in pregnancy. We are required to take the best interests of the client in mind. All right, let's move on. Next question. The feet are the most blank part of the body. The feet are the most blank part of the body. Is it A, inferior, B, posterior, C, superior, D, anterior? I like where you're going, Alicia. I like where you're going with this. So can we get rid of two wrong answers? I love where you're going. For those of you who know the answer right away, you know the answer right away. And you're going to get some questions like this, where you know the answer right away. It's a simple question. You know exactly what they're talking about, and you can just pick the right answer. But are the feet the most inferior part of the body? And here's another technique you can use on a simple question. Put a word right in the blank. Are the feet the most posterior part of the body? Are the feet the most superior part of the body? Are the feet the most anterior part of the body? Another example where there are two right answers. Get rid of B and D. I like it. Take a look. All right, I saw the right answers coming in. So here it is. Boom. The feet, the best answer. The feet are the most inferior part of the body. Letter A. Inferior. Where is that? Down, right? Superior, up. Posterior, back. Anterior, front. What's another right answer to that question? Could you see how it could be anterior? The feet are the most anterior part of the body. Look, unless you have a big nose or big breasts, the feet are probably the most anterior part of your body. But that's not the best answer, right? Right. Okay. Let's move on. Question number 3. All right. A regular client mentions during your health intake that she's being treated for cancer. What happens next? As I mentioned, these are questions from my practice exam where we shuffle the answers. So do you see how all of the above appears as letter A? Don't let that throw you off. It still means all of the above. If for some reason in your MBLEX, you see all of the above and it's on the top line, it still means all of the above. All right, a regular cleanse. Can we get rid of 2 wrong answers? All right, I see the right answers coming in. You can't see the whole question. Oh, you can't? Is that better? Let me see. Is that better? A regular client mentions during your health intake that she is being treated for cancer. What happens next? A, all of the above. B, ask if she has talked to her doctor about getting massage. C, determine when was her last chemotherapy and radiation treatment. D, ask if she's had massage since being diagnosed. Okay. Can anyone else not see? Put it in the chat if you're having trouble seeing the questions. I'll move this up. It could be on a mobile or an iPad. Let me know if that's any better. I see. Okay. What letters can we get rid of? What letters can we get rid of? We're looking for the best answer here. So A, all of the above. B, ask if she's talked to her doctor about getting massage. C, determine when was her last chemotherapy radiation. D, ask if she's had massage since being diagnosed. Is there anything there we definitely don't want to do? Do we not want to ask if she's had massage? Do we not want to determine her last chemotherapy treatment? Is that relevant? We don't want to do, okay, we're seeing some. Do we want to ask if she's, do we want her to ask? Do we want to ask if she's talked to her doctor about getting massage? Default on the best answer, guys. What do you think the best answer is? Jessica, nailed it. There you go. A regular client mentions during your health intake that she's being treated for cancer. What happens next? All of the above. This is imagine this is a client assessment question. So what do you do? What session adaptations? What questions are you now going to ask? So what are your session adaptations for this situation? That is, we are going to ask for the very first thing, have you talked to your doctor about getting massage? I did, and he thinks it's a great idea. When was your last chemotherapy treatment? Oh, it was a week ago. Super. Have you had massage since you've been diagnosed? No, I haven't. You're my therapist. These are all the right answers, right? So contraindications is what we're looking for. Reasons that it would be detrimental to the client to get a massage. During cancer treatments, is it detrimental to get massage? Could you spread the massage? Let's have a chat about old wives' tales. Is it dangerous to do a massage for someone who's being treated for cancer? Could you spread the cancer? Research tells us absolutely not. That is not how cancer spreads. Not through massage therapy, not through rubbing and bloodstream. That is not how cancer gets worse. What does happen with a massage at the appropriate time is it enhances that person's feeling of well-being. Massage can also increase and improve the function of our natural immune system. Yeah, lymphatic cancer would be a doctor's note. So I see a question coming in. Jason asks, what about lymphatic cancer? That is bloodborne, right? Because I heard myself say that and I was like, ooh, lymphatic cancer is bloodborne. It doesn't spread it. It's already in her system or his system. So we're looking at doing the client any harm. Even with lymphatic cancer, it will not do the client harm. But we do need to know that they have talked to their doctor. Otherwise, it's pause, please. Make a quick call, or have them make a quick call to their doctor and get informed consent. Get written permission. Have her sign off. Yes, I have talked to my doctor about this. So in practice, when your regular client comes in, has a scheduled appointment and says, oh yeah, by the way, I'm now being treated for cancer. What kind of cancer? Have you talked to your doctor? If she says she hasn't talked to the doctor, we have to. We have to get the doctor's clearance, because now we become part of her treatment team. And the doctors and the nurses need to know she's getting massage. What's the other concern about being treated with chemo or radiation when it comes to receiving a massage? What is the time frame? Should you do it like right before, right after? Wait a while? What's our protocol? I'll give you a hint. It's similar to whiplash. And also, here's another question where it depends on the client, right? How's she feeling? How is he feeling after the chemo treatment? How are they feeling after radiation? A good rule of thumb, and that sounds not official. The official word is to wait 72 hours, unless they have no side effects from their chemo. Why would we want to wait? What happens with chemotherapy or radiation? Why are they getting that? I hear you. I can't hear you, but I hear you in your head. Yes, the radiation and the chemotherapy is there to kill the cancer, right? To get rid of it. So we actually need that medicine in their body for a day or 2 or 3. 3 days if they still don't feel good. Wait 3 days. Wait until they're not nauseous. Wait until they're not feeling awful after their treatment. Then we can do the massage. Because what's the nature of massage? What do we do when we get a massage? We're detoxifying the body, right? We're moving things through. We're improving the circulation. We're improving the absorption. Therefore, they can spike. Their symptoms might spike. And they might feel really bad after the massage, because that medicine is meant to be in their system at a certain level over a certain time. When we start to get rid of it, they can feel some symptoms from that. So technically 3 days, unless doctor's clearance, unless client feels fine. What we're looking to avoid here is making the client feel worse after their treatments. And I'll mention one more thing about waiting, and that is, again, an individual decision. We saw a question a couple of weeks ago about what happens if a client comes in with a minor cold. Do we treat them? Is that a general contraindication, or is it a local contraindication? It would be a general contraindication. If they're sick, they're systemically sick with a cold, A, they can pass it to you. B, we might do the same thing I just described, which is that the immune system kicks in and starts to really clean out their system at an efficient level, man. They are detoxifying. They are doubling down on getting rid of that cold. They're moving through it even faster. But guess what? Their symptoms might be stronger. So if they've moved through the contagious part of their cold and they're at the tail end, we have the opportunity to do the massage for them, but we do have to let them know they might feel worse before they feel better. So officially, If they have a cold, it's a general contraindication. That's the official word. And then you get to decide. All right, let's go back to our questions. So with this client, this regular client who comes in, she's being treated for cancer. We're going to ask her all those questions. That's the best answer. Any one of those is a good answer, but all of them is the best answer. All right, while giving an assessment, there are 3 types of questions you can ask to get relevant information for the treatment plan. Those 3 categories of questions are general, specific, and pain. You may not have heard this in a while. 3 types of assessment questions. This is black and white. The 3 types of questions: general, specific, and pain. Okay, which of the following is a specific question? Now, pause here, because I know there's going to be a lot of people thinking all of these are specific questions. But specific questions usually have a yes or no answer, and a reminder you're looking for the best answer. What is super specific? All right, A, was there medical treatment or therapy given prior to coming to get a massage? So what other medical treatment has been given? Was there medical treatment or therapy given prior to this massage? So that's not what was it, it's a yes or no question. Was there medical treatment? B, is there a family history of this condition? Again, a yes or no question. C, where's the pain? Where's that pain coming from? Is that specific, general, or pain question? And then D, what aggravates the pain? Is that a specific, general, or pain question? Can we eliminate 2? Ooh, boom shakalaka. You just saw it. Yes, you can eliminate C and D. Why can we eliminate C and D? Those are super specific. Yeah, C and D are gone. You're right. Because they're what? They're pain questions. They're specific, but they're specifically about pain. Yes. All right, so we got A and B left. What is the best answer? Not what's the best question to ask your client. In terms of a specific question, was there medical treatment or therapy given prior to coming to get this massage? Is there a family history to this condition? This is an example of a 50-50, babe. I'm loving it, because guess what? Bang! Yes, the answer is letter A. Was there medical treatment or therapy given prior to coming to get this massage? That is a very specific question. It's going to impact your massage. Does it make sense? Is there a family history? You might, but what happens if we're not saying what the condition is, right? So if it's knee pain, is there a family history of this condition? Certainly family history is interesting, but it actually has really no impact on your treatment. But letter A has an impact on your treatment. Does that make sense? I think it might when you look at that way. I know, Jason, I love letter B too. I always ask. And yet we've got to think this through one more layer. If there's a family history, how does it impact my massage? Was there a medical treatment or therapy given prior to coming to get this massage? Could that impact my massage? It could, right? Did they just come from the chiropractor? Did they just come from chemo? Did they just come from PT? Family history is not going to impact my session as much. It's a specific question. It's actually a little bit, I'm just thinking about if that family condition, family history would be a general or specific. It starts off as a general question. Is there a family history? But then they usually answer you specifically, right? Oh yeah, on my dad's side. Yeah. So, but again, family history is going to be about a condition that usually needs to be treated by a doctor, not us. And that's usually a doctor question. All right. That's why I picked these questions, because they're tricky. All right. Let's do another. Here's a perfect example of a Hihat, which may be, I have no idea what de Quervain's tenosinovitis de Quervain's condition. Tenosinovitis. So maybe you have no idea what this is, right? Let's dissect the question. Tenosinovitis. So a tendon, maybe some synovial fluid, but definitely some inflammation. Okay, let's see. Can we eliminate any wrong answers? What is the location of pain for de Quervain's tenosinovitis? A, tendon pain when moving the thumb. B, tendon pain in the metatarsals. C, tendon pain in the SI joint. D, this is another name for frozen shoulder. Any one of those that you can eliminate? Yes, we can eliminate. Definitely we can eliminate letter D, right? The location of the pain, because frozen shoulder is not a location. Look at the question again. So our training right now is in understanding the question. What is the location of the pain? We're not saying what is de Quervain's, we're looking for the location. So is frozen shoulder? No, it's actually not. So now you've got 3. In the SI joint, and if we're going with our clues here, tendons, synovial fluid. Maybe that's helping, maybe that's not. But tendon pain in the SI joint. Do we normally get tendon pain in the SI joint? What is the SI joint? Where is it? Can you touch it on yourselves? So, and what does a tendon do? What does a tendon do? Now you're on it, right? What does a tendon do? A tendon attaches what to what? So a tendon attaches a muscle to a bone, right? A ligament attaches a bone to a bone. Oh, here we go, here we go. Bone to muscle, thank you, yes, exactly. So it attaches the muscle, so a tendon attaches a muscle to a bone. Ligaments attach a bone to a bone. What do we have a lot of in the SI joint? So the SI joint technically is your sacrum, right? That triangular bone, and your iliums, so your hip bones. So we have 2 bones. Do we have tendons in the SI joint? Mostly we have ligaments in the SI joint. We might have a few tendons, but it's mostly known for ligaments because it's attaching bone to bone in the actual SI joint. When you go off into the glutes, that's where we have muscles attached to bones. All right, so let's eliminate C and D. So A, tendon pain when moving the thumb, tendon pain in the metatarsals. 50-50, take a crack at it. What do you think? Pick one, A or B. What's most important about this exercise right now is not whether you get this answer right. But you're like, but Jody, I need to get all the answers right. Shocker, you're gonna get some of them wrong. But The correct answer, yes, is A. Tendon pain when moving the thumb. So a little refresher on this particular condition, de Quervain, tenosynovitis, they might just say de Quervain syndrome, but it's tendon pain when moving the thumb. And what's interesting about this is, again, the exercise of figuring out the question, figuring out those clues, a really simple question where you have to figure out the clues. And then if you get the 50-50, I like your chances. Like I said, I like your chances at 50-50. There are going to be some questions that you get wrong on this test. There are going to be some answers that you don't know. These questions, let me go back to this particular one, came right off the practice exam. And what I suggest, what I encourage you to do is to say, oh my gosh, I don't know what this is called. I've never heard of this. To copy it, to go to your internet. Am I even on the internet? I am. Well, you know, guys, you know how to Google an answer. Just Google it. Because that's the type of thing you only need to hear once, and then you'll remember it. You may not be able to fill in the blank, but you can definitely pick from multiple choice. Yeah. And that's where we want to get to, is that you can dissect that question enough to understand what it's asking, eliminate 2 wrong answers, and then get to the best answer. And yes, sometimes the best answer can feel tricky, but these questions that you just tackled today are as tricky as they get. And now you can have a dialogue with your practice exams. You can have a dialogue with the MBLEX and be like, oh, tricky, 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 tricky. I wish that I could tell you the MBLEX wasn't tricky. Unfortunately, the distractors that are put in the answers make it a little tricky. But now that you know, you can pause and you won't be tricked. You'll get to the best answer because you've had this experience. And you can make it a game. The test isn't trying to defeat you. The test is actually designed to help you. I know. To be honest, I don't like the test. I don't think it's an entry-level test. I wish it would go away. But that's not happening. Not in the foreseeable future. So we get prepared for it by going through these exercises, by going through this tricky nature. And also, the best way to prepare for this test is not more knowledge. It's actually having your test-taking strategies. These test-taking strategies empowers you, gives the power back to you to stay calm during your test. It gives you the tools to stay calm, to stay focused, to come back to the present moment, to the power of now, and do your best. You are meant to do this work, so let's just get you through it. All right, let me share one more item with you. Golly, the time goes fast. Some of you are already a part of the patron community. So this is the page that when you type in patron, P-A-T-R-E-O-N, R-E-O-N, so they're spelling it like patrons to the theater, thank you. So patrons, patrons with a / Jody Scholes, my name. You can see all the different, all of our classes are hosted here. So these are all the classes with some extra stuff. This is prefixes, and we have some suffixes here, medical terminology. And these are all classes you've been through. You can listen to them again. You can message me. On Fridays, I usually send you a little inspirational message to just remind you outside your comfort zone. More videos, more inspiration. And over the next 4 weeks, I'm also going to be loading up the business modules into this site. Now, you don't need them yet, but as a patron, you will have access to this 24/7. And so what's the difference of just watching on YouTube versus being a patron? Well, the people who are patrons pay a minimum of $1 a month. Yep, you can pay $20 a month, you can pay $100 a month, you can pay $10 a month, $5 a month, whatever is in the budget, and that it reflects the value. And for some people, if you're listening to this, you're not working, most likely, in massage. And so maybe what you can afford is a little less. Instead of saying, hey, it's $99 or it's $200 or it's $265, like it is to take the MBLEX. This is a pay what you can model. But I do ask you to go ahead and register on Patreon, /Jody Skulls, and just put some skin in the game. Here's also what you get when you decide to get skin in the game. I need to shrink you. There we go. And can you guys see this screen? You should see a chalkboard. Can someone give me the thumbs up that you can see a chalkboard? Jason, my man, help me out. Oh, good. Thank you, Jessica. All right. So we're going to log in just like you'll log in to this system. And what you log in, you see your dashboard, and typically on your dashboard, you've got all of your classes. But here are all the classes you get access to. If you click catalog by becoming a patron, the deal is you get access to all of these. Now, if you want to go through them quickly, if you see something you absolutely need to have today, you can buy it. But when you become part of the patron community, I am going to give them to you. Yes, even if it's just $1 a month. Because A, I want to see you successful. And B, I want you to learn at a steady pace. So they won't all the classes won't be on your dashboard. So you'll navigate here, dashboard. You don't have these tabs. That's because I'm the administrator. But your dashboard will have 2 or 3 classes on it. When you log in to this digital chalk platform called the Business of Bodywork, that's technically the Business of Bodywork, you'll have a dashboard and a catalog. So you can see what's coming. And if you want to request a class, you're more than welcome to request a class. But these are the PowerPoints that we've been going through. So they'll look familiar. And in here, we also have the business building, practice building modules. So we start almost all the time with navigating the body right here. Here's the practice exam, lower body, benefits and effects, upper body, you can see. So these are all the modules that you'll go through when you're a patron, when you join us on the patron site. And we don't take any breaks. We just keep going. You know, the live classes, we take a little break. But with patron, they're always getting, every week they're getting new information. Every week they're getting a new class. And because our time here is limited, And speaking of time, I see I'm going to wind down now soon. But because our time here is limited, and I really do a lot of explaining, the classes that you get in the online platform are 1 hour of lecture. Sorry, kind of boring. I know. To do a whole hour of lecture, it's kind of like being in class. Yeah, but you can pause it. You can go to the bathroom, you can go get a drink, you can go get some food. But here's why they're an hour. We're building your test-taking stamina. Look, me too. I need to build my focus, my ability to focus. But that's part of the exercise of preparing you to take a 2-hour class. Excuse me, to take a 2-hour exam is to take a 1-hour class. And then also the practice exams. And the last thing I'll show you is that practice exam, and you can launch it. I don't know if it'll let me launch it. Yeah, it's not actually going to let me launch it, but that's okay. By coming back here to our patron site, this is where you get access to it all. So if you're ready to take a break and you're ready to just to kind of let your mind rest for a few weeks, go for it. If you want to continue your studies, you can join us in the patron community. Like I said, for after you graduate, there is going to be business modules and other instruction so that it's applicable. But for the majority of you guys who are listening right now, you're still preparing to take that exam. So that's why it's heavily focused on preparing for the NCLEX. So since we are at the top of the hour, I am going to say thank you very much. Thank you for being a part of this class. Thank you for wanting to be a massage therapist. Because yeah, you want to pass the test, but what that tells me is you want to be a massage therapist. So thank you for that, because not everybody's wired like us. Not everybody's wired to want to rub on bodies. And you and me, we're like, let me at them, right? Let me create that space, that non-judgmental, safe space for a person to come and for their body to heal. Yeah, we do the massage, but we don't heal anybody. We don't fix anybody. We facilitate a space where the body can heal. So I'm Jody Scholes signing off for today. Thanks very much. If you're live in class with me, feel free to stay. We'll have a little chat. But until the next time, see you soon.